I came to Würzburg on a rainy day in October this year. I had the chance to visit three of the dominant churches in Würzburg. The most important landmark of the trip was the Würzburg residence, which I had a clip made earlier on my channel. However, the rest of this short trip was not at all came to waste. I had seen some of the most beautiful churches in this town. But after all, it struck me is the sad history of this beautiful city when you learn and see the pictures of the destruction during World War II. And I was in awe to see the transformation and the reconstruction of this city that took so many years to complete. The Marienkapelle is a Roman Catholic church located at the market square of the town of Würzburg. It was built in the Gothic style in the 14th century. Despite its larger size, it is a chapel by status, as it does not have a parish. Today, it is administered by the United Parishes of the Würzburg Cathedral and the Kollegiatstift Neumünster. The chapel was heavily damaged by the bombing of Würzburg in World War II, and its interior was destroyed by flames. It was rebuilt in the 1950 and re-consecrated in 1962. Its two best-known works of art, the sculptures of Adam and Eve by Tilman Riemenschneider, Würzburg Cathedral is a Roman Catholic cathedral in Würzburg in Bavaria, dedicated to Saint Kilian. It is the seat of the Bishop of Würzburg and has served as the burial place for the Prince-Bishops of Würzburg for hundreds of years. With an overall length of 103 meters, it is the fourth largest Romanesque church building in Germany and a masterpiece of German architecture from the Stalin period. The Neumünster Collegiate Church is a collegiate church in Würzburg, Germany. The church dates back to the year of 1065. In 1060, the church was built Romanesque style. From 1180 to 1250, the church was renovated and its eastern section was expanded. The Romanesque west choir was demolished, and from 1711 to 1716 it was built, the west facade in Baroque style. From 1725 the interior was redesigned in the Baroque style by the brothers Johann Baptist Zimmermann and Dominicus Zimmermann. The church also was damaged during the bombing of Würzburg in World War II. And from 1945 to 1952, the interior was restored. The Antermain Brook is the older bridge over the Main in Würzburg. In the 18th century, 12 statues of the saints and rulers were built on the bridge. To this day, you can admire sculptures they're depicting. The bridge was built in 1476 on the site of an old stone bridge from 1120. Until 1886, the building was the only crossing to the other side of the river in the city. Marienberg Fortress, Festung Marienberg, is a prominent landmark on the left bank of the Main River in Würzburg. In the Franconia region of Bavaria, Germany, the mighty fortress Marienberg is a symbol of Würzburg and served as a home of the local Prince-Bishop for nearly 5 centuries. Most of the current structures originally were built in Renaissance and Baroque styles between the 16th and the 18th centuries. This fortress saw repeated action in the wars of the late 18th and 19th century. Festung Marienberg was heavily damaged by the bombing in March 1945 and only fully rebuilt in 1990. Today, it houses 2 museums and it is accessible to the public. The bombing of Würzburg in World War II was a large-scale air attack of the city of Würzburg and was part of the strategic bombing campaign by the Allies against Nazi Germany. The major raid occurred on March 16, 1945, when the Royal Air Force bombers dropped incendiary bombs that set fire to much of the city, killing an estimated 5,000 people and almost completely obliterating the historic town. Almost 90% of the buildings were destroyed by the raid, and that lasted less than 20 minutes. All of the city churches, cathedrals, and other monuments was heavily damaged or destroyed. The city center, which mostly dated from the medieval times, was destroyed in a firestorm. The bombing proceeded in 3 waves. First, the roofs and windows of the old town was destroyed with 256 heavy bombs and aerial mines. This prepared the way for 300,000 incendiary bombs. Over the next 20 years, the buildings of historical importance were painstakingly and accurately reconstructed. The citizens who rebuilt the city immediately after the end of the war were mostly women. Trümmerfrauen, rubble women, because the men were either dead or still prisoners of war.